From a clump of dust and gas 1,000 miles away from Earth lies one of the greatest mysteries of creation. The Sun, the solar system, the trans-Neptunian objects, and the planetary bodies cohabit with the void world that exists above. Over the years, it was discovered that a few minor worlds are traveling in harmony beyond Neptune. Astronomers believe they are dancing to the beat of a third world lying in the shadows, one that is 4 times the size of an asteroid and relevant enough to be called our solar system's 9th planet. This was going on for a long time, not until the planet vanished. This is the truth behind missing planets in the solar system. Stay tuned so you won't miss a thing. Pluto was revered 9th planet for 76 years. It didn't matter that it was the smallest planet in the solar system with a satellite half its size. Nobody cared that its orbit was inclined and oval-shaped. Pluto was an oddball, but an elementary particle. Pluto's geography is certainly intriguing. We have known since 2006 that Pluto has an atmosphere and probably even clouds. It has water ice peaks, frozen nitrogen meadows, and methane snow-capped tops. It even has sand dunes and volcanoes. That intriguing and active topography rivals that of any rocky globe in the inner solar system. But science is based on data, not intuition. It could be evidence that Planet 9 is hidden there. No one knows if it exists, but this discovery aided in the development of a model to better understand this prospective planet. A more intriguing mystery is how Planet 9 got there in the first place. How can a planet 5 times the size of Earth end up being marooned up to 20 times further from the Sun than Neptune? The most plausible hypothesis is that it formed in the inner solar system with the other 8 planets before being thrown out into space by some cataclysm. Even before scientists discovered Planet 9, computer simulations of the solar system's creation hinted at the existence of a missing planet. Starting with 5 massive planets resulted in a solar system that resembles ours today more than those that began with only 4. The only problem was that there was no other proof that the extraterrestrial world ever existed. However, if the recent flurry of activity reveals the reality of Planet 9, it is probably likely this missing world. Its finding would imply more than just adding another planet to the list. It could be the solution to discovering why our solar system looks the way it does now. In 2016, scientists discovered that several minor space objects in the Kuiper belt were rotating in an unusual manner. The Kuiper belt is our solar system's outermost region. It is a donut-shaped ring loaded with remnants from the formation of our solar system. This donut can be seen beyond Neptune. Objects in that region of space have strange orbits, almost as if a large planet with great gravity is pushing them away. Again, the hypothesis suggests that it may be 5 to 10 times the size of our planet and up to 20 times the distance between us and Neptune. The dwarf planet periodically crosses into Neptune's orbit to go closer to the Sun than Neptune does. Neptune's winds are renowned, with speeds reaching 1,200 miles per hour or over 2,000 kilometers per hour. The winds on Pluto, on the other hand, are extremely gentle, averaging just approximately 23 miles per hour or 37 kilometers per hour. The gap between our Earth and the Sun is measured in astronomical units. Pluto is about 40 astronomical units away from the Sun, whereas Planet 9 is 400 to 800 astronomical units away. This unknown planet would take 10,000 to 20,000 Earth years to complete a single orbit around the Sun. This makes catching the space body more difficult. Planet 9, like the other gas giants in our solar system, is thought to have originated between Jupiter and Neptune's orbits. As a result, the term planet was redefined by the International Astronomical Union, or IAU, and Pluto was no longer an option. It is not every day that a new world is revealed in the solar system. In fact, it has only happened a couple of times beforehand in the history of mankind, with Uranus and Neptune. All of the other planets have been known for thousands of years but were never truly discovered. For millennia, the term planet was much broader. In the 1600s, when Galileo pointed his telescope toward Jupiter, any huge moving body in the sky was regarded as a planet. Moons were included. When astronomers identified the rocky bodies now known as asteroids in the 1800s, they also referred to them as planets. A team of astronomers directed their telescopes to the sky in the early 19th century in search of a missing planet between Mars and Jupiter. However, they observed something unusual, a cluster of tiny objects that would eventually be categorized as the first asteroids, rather than a single planet. Scientists now use information from spacecraft operations to better understand the appearance of asteroids and their components. It is difficult to locate a world with similar characteristics to Earth, or at least conditions that might allow life to originate there. We eventually get to see Kepler-22b, one of our most enticing discoveries. It is 600 light-years from Earth, twice the size of our planet, with temperatures of 72 degrees Fahrenheit. This is known as super-Earth. It is a type of planet unlike any other in our solar system. They are larger than Earth but lighter than ice giants like Uranus or Neptune. Super-Earths can be made of rock, gas, or a combination of the two. Kepler-22b is located within the habitable zone of its parent star, which is fainter than our Sun. The planet most likely has a rocky core. It may have an ocean, but it is devoid of life. Astrologers were alluding to a predicted ninth planet that would revolve around the Sun beyond Neptune. They had seen a number of minor worlds outside Neptune acting strangely and reasoned that a ninth planet could explain their unusual motion. You may recall the mythological horse with warriors hiding inside. There is another form of Trojan, an orbiting Trojan. Jupiter is orbited by a cloud of thousands of asteroids. They are not directly adjacent to the planet, as moons are, but rather in two bunches, one ahead of Jupiter in its orbit and one behind. The leading cluster is known as the Greeks, and the following clump is known as the Trojans, but they are frequently grouped together and referred to as Jupiter's Trojans. Planet 9's possible existence is based on observations made over the last decade with telescopes large enough to peek beyond the 8 known planets. It is a huge task to study this unexplored region. We can only see because of reflected sunlight, and that light has to travel a long distance to reach these trans-Neptunian objects. The voyage begins at the Sun and goes out to a relative speed of more than 4.5 billion kilometers before rebounding off an object and returning almost all the way to the beginning. That light is likewise diminishing over time, making it exceedingly feeble and necessitating the use of a large telescope to collect it. Pluto can be seen from Earth, but not with the naked eye. To see this frigid dwarf planet, you will need to utilize a huge telescope. So far, the planet has remained out of sight, but the search has solidified evidence that it exists. Astronomers have discovered new TNOs while scouring the outer solar system. We now know 14 objects that are more than 230 times further away from the Sun than the Earth. This includes the Goblin, an object found by a team of astronomers led by Shepard and reported in October 2018. It is a 300-kilometer wide TNO on a 40,000-year orbit around the Sun. The more of these objects we uncover with comparable tilts, the more compelling the evidence for Planet 9 becomes. To date, the Planet 9 is yet to be found. All previous hunts have failed to locate the planet. The fact that just a few telescopes in the globe are capable of spotting it does not help the hunt. Not only do you require a huge aperture telescope to catch the dim light, but you also need one with a broad field of view camera. That is roughly equivalent to 3,200 full moons. A telescope with a restricted field of view would simply take too long to cover its enormous area. It is also not a two-dimensional piece of sky, but a three-dimensional one. In the end, there are already at least 150 recognized dwarf planets. Perhaps in the end, what constitutes a planet is in the mind of the beholder.